Hi, I am Roxy. I am here to ask you to do something for Steve6464. Can you watch as much of the video that you can? Then before you leave a comment. Make it a critique, a constructive criticism. Thanks. Oh, he's about to start. Bye.
Alright, Foxtrot, Delta, Tango. How's the sound? Maybe a bit loud, huh? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Great. Welcome back. I am Steve6464. This is season 12 of Let's Build This, part 1 of London Bus Puzzle, London Tour Puzzle, London Tour Bus Puzzle. This thing. Yeah, before we get started on this, let's take a look at what I worked on last week. Foxtrot Delta Tango. Okay, the sound is good. I remembered to turn my mic back on. I'm usually, maybe 40% remembering to do that. So let's get our scene set up, our cameras set up. Okay, why am I... Oh, I'm not missing a camera. I'm still used to when I was doing the what am I thinking of? Yeah, I'm still used to when I was doing the project on the screen, where I had screen stuff going on and then two other cameras. Okay, I know why this camera is being difficult, because it's actually turned 90 degrees. Okay, and I can't back it up. I could adjust the cropping, but I won't. Alright, now this camera. Let's move this around. This shouldn't be as difficult to adjust because it is not rotated. If I come in more like this. Oh well. If you have any suggestions on how you like the camera to be adjusted, let me know. Okay. Oh, I know what's wrong too. I have the house lights on and not my regular light, my streaming lights. Okay. All right. So this was something, might as well just leave it there, that my daughter bought for me for Christmas, just for this exact purpose, to build while streaming. And I'm kind of unprepared, surprised. So, all right, box opening. No glue, no tools. They don't know me too well, do they? Trash. Just gonna slide off. Okay. 14 and plus. I think I might need to borrow a 14-year-old. Oh, that sounded bad. Okay. Very similar to the house project I had worked on earlier in the year. Okay, this is the instruction sheet. Anything else in here? Teeny tiny I don't know how well you can see that. Teeny tiny little brass pins. That's going to be fun. Okay, set the instructions aside for a moment. Let's continue opening this up. Stickers and decals. they did supply a little sandpaper. That's great because there's going to be little knobs and stuff to tear off. Some stickers, tape, whatever pieces. Big stickers. It's, I should have cleaned stuff up a little better. Okay. All right. Stickers. Pieces. Yep, that already came out. Now you can't see it if I put it over there, but I need the room. More red pieces. Yellow wood colored pieces. Let's put all that over here. The small stuff over here. Instructions. Warning. Maintenance. Warning. The product is for people who are over 14 years old. Children should assemble under the guidance of adult. I need an adult. The instructions must be retained since it contains important information. Okay. Maintenance. Keep the product away from the source of ignition and water to prevent any damage. Please do not clean this product with chemical cleaners, alcohol, ammonia, water, glass cleaner, etc. Please clean the product with clean, soft cloth and sand the border burr lightly with sandpaper. Alright, okay, this they're calling double-sided tape. These they're calling nails. Interesting. Okay. I guess if there's this flower symbol, that is the upside of the board. Or the printed side. So far I don't see that symbol. So we'll just have to see. And English, German, French, and Italian. So I'm an American and allegedly we speak English, so those are the instructions I will follow. Hey Roy, welcome. How's the sound? Okay. And Spanish. It wouldn't be multilingual if there wasn't Spanish. Okay. Only thumbing through the instructions and I'm already thirsty. Okay. Pay attention to the directions. Pay attention to the directions. Okay, I'm paying attention to the directions. And it is looking like IKEA directions. Okay. I need 2 A29s. And where am I going to find A29s? Just how do they help you find what you're looking for? Well, it's not on this one. This is a bunch of E's. This board has no markings. This board has markings. So let's see if there's any. This is all A's, so let's see if there's any A29s. It kind of looks like a t-shirt with the arm raised. There they are. There's the A29s. Where's my... I probably should have something small to drop this in. Just a sec. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, I know. I got some empty, slim CD cases. Let's use that. Or at least try. Alright, 29. I just had it. There it is. Alright. You'd think something that small would pop out easily. There we go. There's one. There's the other. Set this aside for a moment. Get my sandpaper. This is so small. Alright, it's so small. I don't think there are any burrs to sand. A little something here. And Roy, I remembered to turn the sound back on after the review. Alright, I got that. And then A58. A58. Could there be another? Okay, 53, 55, 57, 58. Another teeny tiny. Well, I know one thing, Ryan. I'm not finishing this in one session. This is probably going to take longer than the Ferris wheel. Okay. Sand off some of these burrs. Alright, so the pay attention part is the orientation of this piece. They've grayed out this peninsula. Right. So this should be the same orientation as that. And then these t-shirts with the arm up part, excuse me, goes towards me. Okay, and let's put some paper down. Not that my cutting mat is all that clean, but still, let's put some more paper down. And open our glue. Spill out some glue. Get our toothpick. Add a little bit of glue to the inside. put our pieces in. I keep hitting the camera. Stop bouncing the camera. Is my head getting in the way? With the arm pointing up to the back or pointing towards me. When I have it oriented the way that it is on the instructions. Alright. Step 1 is done. We're done. See you tomorrow. See you next week. No. Keep going. Okay. Set that aside. Next. Looks like the dashboard. Oh, it says pay attention to the direction, not the directions. Alright, so I need A3. That does not look like A3. I mean, it's labeled A3. I'm confused. Which shouldn't be a surprise. Unless I'm reading that wrong. Because all the things I see on this, it looks like the A3 in the instructions does not look like what they have labeled A3 on the board. And it's probably not going to be these red things because this should be the outside. Right? Because the board has labeled these round things A3, but the instruction this is A3. I don't too bright. Now I could imagine maybe these A3s being some sort of lock or holding thing. And I don't see anything that looks like the drawing on the instructions. Is it on the instructions or in the instructions? See, whatever it is, on the left side there's a circle with an arm pointing to about 10 o'clock. These A3s are not like that. I keep hitting the camera. And it's just basically a rectangle of rounded corners. There's no bumps or grooves or notches. Although some nachos would go good. Here, I found it. Why are they labeling two different things A3? Alright, so here it is. Here's A3. I really need to get my act together and work on the exposure of these cameras. Maybe I'll do that when I'm done with step 1 before I go on to step 2. Now, you youngins at home, get parent permission before using sharp tools or dull tools. Okay, and then that goes onto those pieces. With the clock thing on my left. Well, so much for gluing it. For the love. Alright. The third part of part one, or the second part of part one, is done. Alright, we need A42 and A32. I think I found A42. And punching that out without breaking it is going to be a challenge. There we go. That was what, 34A. I mean, A42. Now we need A32. Okay. There's two of them in the same cutout. And I'm sure I'm going to need one of them later on. And the question is, will it stay in the board, or will it pop out? I mean, when I take the first one out. Okay. There we go. Well, it feels secure. Alright, sandpaper. And what I think I'm going to start doing is sanding these tabs that insert into stuff so that they're just a little smaller and be a little easier to get in the slots. Because this is definitely a time where bigger is not necessarily better. Okay. Alright, so there's a slight curve or angle to the steering wheel support. And according to the directions, they want it an N and not a V. Right? So the steering wheel And the shaft, if this little bump goes towards me, maybe we'll glue that in, put that in first. Like so. I didn't realize it bumped up against the dashboard, or I would have put a little glue on that. All right. How you doing, Roy? You still awake? Or have I bored you to sleep yet? All right. Oh, I think they want this to push through, because it is showing, it's showing a little gray beneath. So if I'll completely crushing it, how do I get this to come through? There we go. I don't know if that's, there's a little notch, so maybe I should try to get it down to the notch. Like that. Perfect. Maybe. We'll find out if I did it wrong in later steps. Alright, step one. Step one is complete. Step two involves those teeny tiny brass or bronze nails. Is it brass or bronze that's the darker color? I think it's bronze that's the darker color, and brass is more copper color. Unless those are, maybe they're just copper. And you can't see that. Maybe this one's better. Alright, but we'll leave those in there until we need them. I'm going to put this in the box until we need it. Alright. Step two. Now here's the symbol for the printed side. So when we find this piece, the printed side needs to be up. And that piece is C27. It's kind of like we're playing a really big game of Battleship. C27. You sunk my London bus. So this thing is just A's. This is E's. This one still has no markings on it. What am I looking for? I am looking for something like that. I think I found it. Maybe. I think I found it. C27. It's a red thing. They could at least say, what color. Right. But then half the fun is hunting for this stuff. Not. Okay. I don't need that. So what they mean by printed side, they mean the side with the color. Right? Red, no red. Natural, no printing. But we still have some burrs to clean up. So let's clean that up. Alright. The painted side up, then the window side on the top part, and the notch going down. Alright. Let's open this without losing any, because if I drop anything on the floor, it ain't going to be found. Especially these little things. And they want 2. 1, 2, 3. Nope, 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 just 2. And we push these through the holes. Yep, so the heads are on top. Okay, like such. Next. C17 is a tool made to tap those in. And then we need The next is B16. Excuse me. I should have a cover. So what it looks like we're making is the windshield on the right side. Let's hold on to this. Okay, so I am looking for B16. Okay, this is all C. I don't see that tool. Oh, this is it. It says tool. All right, well, I have found it. This particular board feels more of a particle board than it does a can't think. It feels more of a particle board than a plywood. This seems to be particle board. This seems to be particle board, but I think this is plywood. Okay, and this is all A's. We don't want that. We want C's. E's. This is still unlabeled. Like all of a sudden I'm going to pick that board up and it's going to have labeling on it. These red pieces pop out really easy, except for the tool. Alright, this is C. C what? No, I'm looking for B, not C. And these are just numbers, no alphabet. $16, right? 16. It's a really fragile piece. And it basically has this rectangle with this arm jetting out. You'd think that'd be something that would be easily found. Here it is. Oh, okay. They did such a bad job of stamping that the B's look like 3s. Let's see if I can illustrate that. Alright. So a capital B looks like that, which you really can't see. Alright, let me find a Sharpie. Just knock something over. Okay. So a capital B is a straight line and then 2 bumps. But if you do a poor job on putting the straight line down and just concentrate on the bumps then look like a B, a 3 instead of a B. Alright. But like I said, I found it. Here it is. And let's pop that out of there. Without breaking off that small arm. Alright, so far so good. Sandpaper, sand off these knobs, the burrs. And I think these notches are going to be inserts into stuff. So let me sand a bit on the back. I don't want to sand on the paint. I want to sand the paint off. Make them a little thinner. Maybe they'll go in together better. Okay. With the arm going this way, we put our wiper blade on top, lining the pins up with the holes. This is where the tool comes in, maybe. Oh, I should have Should put some glue on. But that's pretty tight. Been at this for an hour, roughly. All right, set that aside. Are we done with 2? Not quite. We take our steering wheel. And an A13 with the printed side. First thing, I'm going to sand these knobs down just a bit. Hopefully they'll as I rub off the steering wheel. All right, so don't play around with that. From this side, this goes through, and then it looks like there's going to be one of those small things that look like A3s the first time. Use that as some sort of block. Oh, come on. Alright, and then that just means step 2, that's not okay. Okay, an A13, which is one of these round things. Back to our A board. And yes, it is a 13 and not just a 3. The problem is they got A13 and the 1 matches up to the line pointing to the part. The line and the 1 merge, making you think it's A big line and then 3. Okay, so punch just one of these out. Good luck. There we go. I don't think it really matters. What did I do with my sandpaper? Roy, there it is. Hey, dog walker, it's been a while. How are you? Have you and Roy met? I think you have. Yeah, evening. What is it, like 8:15 there? Glad to hear it. Dog's doing good? There we go. Alright. Why they didn't paint that red and left it wood color, don't know. So I am working on building one of your tour buses. My daughter had asked me back in the fall what I would like for Christmas. I didn't care as long as it came from you, but I suggested maybe a puzzle or something I could build while streaming, and she picked that up for me. Alright, step 3. Okay, we still need this. We need an A41, A31, 2 of them, and an A57. Okay, here is A57. So, dog watcher, do you see any of the final debate? All right, let's see if I can pop this out now. Beautiful. Yeah, and I imagine they're a little more detailed than my project here too. just been in the last, what, 20 years that they retired these, isn't it? Yeah, Will Duffy really really held a flourish to the roles. I think someone said in some post after show that it's a tutorial on how to handle Flores. Okay, so what am I doing with this piece? Oh, I haven't punched out all the other pieces yet either. Okay, two A31s. Okay. They look like teeny tiny gear shifts. Well, that's cool that your uncle's doing that. Is that like his line of work, restoration, or is he volunteering? Imagine it would have to be his line of work. Okay. So small that it's probably not even worth sanding the notches and burrs off, but do it just the same. It's so small I can't even sand these tabs down, make it easier to insert, but we'll give it a try. Okay, so these things go onto that piece. Oh, I still have one more piece to find. I have A41. As I bounce my head into the camera again. Oh, I was going to work on that. Oh well. Here it is. So our puppy giant schnauzer is definitely 4 times larger than she was when I had her on camera. Getting to be quite the handful. retired but fitter. The open air museum has lots of old steam engines too. Well, that's cool. We have a rail museum not too far from us, where they have people come in and restore the cars and stuff. Cool. I'm working on 3, right? Okay. So the orientation of this piece is like this. This piece goes in those 2 holes, and then these gear shift looking things go in those holes. All right, I'm a little concerned because I see a lot of junk, a lot of knobs in my holes. Oh, let's see if I can clear those up. One, without cutting myself, and 2, without ruining the piece. Okay, I said the gear shift looking things go on the bottom. But let's clear up all the knobs and all the holes while we're at it. Probably going to be easier to do it now than down the line. Okay. And there's they're not gear shifts so much. I bet they're like brakes. Maybe they're a gear shift. One's a gear shift, one's a brake. And it looks like it goes all the way down to the base. So let me put no glue, no tools, but they give you a tool. Seeing I don't plan on taking this apart, I'm using glue. Just like this. Oh, that went in relatively easy. And the gear shift pieces in this orientation point upward. And this piece is going to be a dog. Yeah, good in. Yeah, went in easier than I expected. I keep feeling my head and hair hitting the main camera, and I can't look at the screen and work at the same time. Am I blocking the view? Alright, so that step is done. Let me take a breath and see about the exposure on these cameras. Lower left. Properties. Configure video. Where did it go? There it is. There's one. Configure video. Where's close. The railway part is celebrating its 300th birthday. Wow. I don't think America has a railroad that's nearly that old. Alright, let's try this again. Lower left camera, which is our main camera at the moment. Properties. Move this over to this screen so I'm not blocking what I want to look at. Configure video. Where did that go? There it is. Okay. Bring that over here. Bring this back up. I'm going to close this. Close. Okay. Stop popping back up. Configure video. Bingo. Alright. Let's darken this a little. Decrease the contrast a bit. Increase the contrast. Decrease it. Alright, minus. Get my pen. Minus 24, 23. Say OK, apply, OK. Let's just keep popping up. And OK. That way will go away when I switch cameras. Center camera. Properties. Configure video. No, it gives me a new. Alright, so this is minus 23 brightness. And minus 24 brightness. And contrast is 23. That's almost too dark, right? Same cameras. So let's brighten this up a bit. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Okay. Okay. Let me know if that looks better. Okay. Back to the project. Alright, so I've done this, now they want this. Looks like we're building the driver's seat. Alright, and I need that's 163, one A1, one A2, and one A63. And what does the green solid mean? Blank side. Okay. A63. Looks like an L. '61, '62. There it is, 63. And I'm probably going to need that 64, but won't take it until we need it. A1 and A2. A1 and A2, right there. Top left. Just exactly where you expect it to be. Alright, so they want they told me they want the blank side. Yes, there's a little bit of printing there. So they want the blank side like this. Sandpaper. Clean this up. Looks better, great. I swear I set these things and then I log out of OBS. And then the next time I log in, it's different. Roy, are you still with us? Sanding these tabs down a bit in an attempt to make it easier to poke them into their holes. Did I do this side already? Keeping the girlfriend's family happy is a priority. So if you need to log off to to achieve that, Roy. That's fine with me. Just say goodbye when you leave. Okay, this is the back, that's the seat. Got a little glue going in here. Alright, that goes in there. That goes in there. Alright. And we'll set that aside for a moment. Look at the next instruction. Yep. A64. Let's punch that out. It probably would have been okay for me to punch it out at the same time. I don't seem to be having the dropsies like I usually do. But I didn't. I didn't punch it out at the same time just to reduce the chances that I would drop it, lose it, or something along those lines. Oh, you were on the phone. I thought you were visiting. And boom. One chair. And I got a feeling it's going to go into those two slots. But you know what they say when you assume. Yep. Here's the rail. Here's the rail. It's orientated like that. And the seat goes just like that. Okay. Clean up some of the glue. And there we have our driver's seat in the cockpit. Alright. It's getting close to quitting time, but I think I will continue this next step. The driver's seat now goes into there. And then we need a B3, some of these other parts. You know what I think I'll do is I'll just glue these two pieces together and then call it a day or a stream. All right, put a little glue into the slot, a little glue onto the surface of that, and insert. Okay, it's going to be stubborn. Well, if I line it up properly. Alright, and that is the beginning of our London tour bus wooden puzzle. I think this camera, the contrast could probably increase some. So, set that in the box, let it dry over the week. I'll do the rest of the cleanup after I sign off. We go back to this scene. Alright, thank you, Roy. Thank you, Dog Watcher, for stopping by. Don't be strangers. See you next week. To anyone watching this in the future, thank you for making it this far into the video. Do all the like and subscribe stuff if you would, please. That'd be great. And until next time, Foxtrot Delta Tango. Have a good day. Be safe. Be a friend to someone who needs it. And the last thing I have to say is,
look, an echo chamber of derp. Derp, 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 derp.
Derp, 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 derp.
Derp, 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 derp. Derp, 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 derp. Derp, 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 derp,
Perspective. Gravity is not a force. Einstein based Newton.
Jerp, 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 jerp. derp, 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 derp.